A Murder Drones graphic novel has just been announced, and everyone is buzzing about this announcement. Most people are excited that we're finally getting some new content for the show, but I'm asking another question. What can we expect from this new graphic novel? This is going to be a much shorter and less organized video, mostly opinion rather than objective fact. Either way, let's get into what we can expect from the Murder Drones graphic novel. First, let's get a few things out of the way. This isn't going to be a new story, instead being an adaptation of the first season of the original show. Second, this isn't being ran by Liam Vickers, instead by Wyatt Kennedy. Now, I have no past experience with this man and don't know what to expect from him, but considering how solid the source material is, I'm not too worried. The art for the book is also being done by Joe Mei Jiang, with the cover having been drawn by Alessio Zono. The comic also has a Kickstarter to fund its production that will launch in September this year, and this is where the article gets a bit weird because it says the book will debut on Kickstarter, but Kickstarter is a crowdfunding platform, not a comic hosting one. However, I just think this means backers will be the first to receive copies, while non-backers will have to wait until February 2026 for it to be brought to stores. No source I found has mentioned the comic being put up for sale on the Glitch store. So far, this is all we have in terms of information about this new graphic novel, as well as getting to see the cover for the first installment. However, we don't have to stop here. Let's move on to For the record, this is all based on what I would want for the graphic novel and is purely speculative. If I get some things right, hooray! But I would expect to be proven wrong. First, let's look at the Kickstarter. As of now, it hasn't launched yet, so we can't see things such as reward tiers or stretch goals. However, looking at the Kickstarter for one of Oni Press's past collaborations, Cult of the Lamb: The First Verse, we can see that backer rewards included things like a PDF version of the comic, exclusive copies of the book featuring variant covers, and merch items like pins, t-shirts, and a board game. So I could imagine the Murder Drones Kickstarter featuring similar backer rewards, possibly featuring already existing merch items. I figure this series would have an 8-volume run, with each book adapting a single episode. While I suppose some episodes could be combined or split for a slightly altered run, I would find it rather hard for that to be accomplished writing-wise. Now, what would I expect from this comic story? Being an adaptation, we know it will closely follow the story of the original show. However, given that a graphic novel doesn't have the same production or production constraints as an animated series, I could see the writer taking the opportunity to explore things that weren't seen in the original show. For example, maybe adding or exchanging some scenes to see what other characters were up to while the protagonists were protagonisting. I could imagine us getting to see things like how V and Lizzie met, maybe show us Doll's parents' deaths in more detail, and we could even get some extra scenes with characters like Con and Thad. Overall, I'm really excited for this comic and will definitely be checking out the Kickstarter when it launches. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time.
Hey everyone, we're back! In our own backyard, we're gonna make the most of every day. We've got plans, they may be avant-garde, but you know we're gonna do them anyway. It feels so good to be where we belong, I guess that's the main bullet point of this little song. We're tuned up and right on track, baby we're back, baby we're back! baby, we're back.